I found a brand doing over $400 million a year, and it's run by just 2 people using AI tools like Replit and Claude. That means the gap between you and a brand this size is way smaller than you think. AI can now do everything that used to require a team, a big budget, and years of experience. And I'm gonna prove it to you. In this video, I'm gonna break down what makes this store so good and show you how you can copy this exact brand step by step using AI. So let's get into it. So this brand Medvi is actually really interesting. If we go to their homepage here, you can see that they sell weight loss, peptides, men's health, women's health. But the key thing here, it doesn't look like your typical Shopify store. You know, all of these products are personalized to you. So when you click on one of these, like weight loss, it doesn't take you to a product page. It takes you to an Am I Qualified page. You have to go through a quiz that asks you all of these questions. What's your height, weight, right? What's your date of birth? And then it asks you all of these health related questions to essentially create a personalized product for you. So when somebody is coming to this store, right? When Meta is sending traffic to this store, they're really like getting a specific kind of audience. They're learning about who are the kinds of people that would actually go to this page and take the time and energy to go through a quiz and then buy. They're not targeting most people. They're looking for a specific audience. And it's actually really effective because when you're selling like an expensive supplement, which I know Medvi's definitely a premium when it comes to prices, right? You are not looking to sell to anybody. You're looking for a specific kind of person, the person that takes this very seriously. Somebody that goes through a quiz and takes all these steps is somebody who's likely to spend money with you and is likely to be a loyal customer, right? Because if you think about it, you know, products like this, you know, people have to be educated on them to, especially if you want them to impulse buy, right? If you want them to not have to go think about it for a while, do some research, compare and contrast all these things, right? So like whenever we're selling products like supplements, health related products that people take very sensitively, right? They're putting it in their body. You know, oftentimes this kind of strategy works really well, especially when you're speaking to older people. Like I'm looking at these testimonials here, you can see that it's a lot of older people that like are very logical with their purchase decisions, right? So if something isn't working well for you, like you're selling a supplement, right? That might just be because you're sending people direct to the product page and they don't really feel like they have enough information, or, you know, they feel like what you have looks like most of what's in the market. If I'm serious about making these changes in my life, then I'm going to go through the quiz and I'm going to become warmer and warmer to this brand, especially if I'm landing on a Facebook ad like this one right here. You can see when I search in the ads library, Medvi, if I click on one of their ads, here's where it goes. It goes to that page, right? So it's not going to a traditional product page. And the fact that they're running all these ads, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of ads, I mean, it's clearly working for them, right? And there's more, right? There's all these brands are doing it. I mean, look at this brand, Forge Men. They sell beef tallow skincare, which is super hot right now. We can see here, like when they have like over 74 ads, which is great. See, look, most of their ads, it takes me to a quiz. How old are you? When I look in the mirror, I see X. If I'm an older guy with wrinkles and all this, I'm going to feel seen. I'm going to feel understood, you know? So anyways, you get the idea, right? This is very common. It's not just Medvi that's doing it. Now, let me show you how I can replicate everything that Medvi created here with Claude Code. Claude Code will do all of this for me. So Claude Code, especially if you're on a Mac, all you need is the terminal, right? So it connects directly to the terminal. As you can see, I already have it set up here. If you have never done this before, go watch this YouTube video right here I posted last month. It goes step by step over how to get Claude Code set up, and then you'll be able to get into a terminal like this where essentially we chat with it and we tell it exactly what you need. It's already connected to my Shopify store. As you can see here, Hassan's store is connected. So that means Claude Code is literally integrated with the Shopify store. And what we're gonna do is we're literally gonna give it this prompt: duplicate my current live theme. I'm gonna attach full page screenshots of this page and then basically have Claude Code replicate it completely. So the way I get a full page screenshot of this is I use Go Full Page as a Chrome extension. And as you can see, look how it's like literally screenshotting the entire page. It's pretty insane. But yeah, as you can see, it just screenshotted the entire thing. I typically download it as PDF, typically better that way. And there you go, it downloaded it. For the purpose of this video, I just want to show you how it replicates the one page and then also the quiz. So as you can see, I have it downloaded, the full page screenshot as a PDF. And then what I do is I put it into a folder that I'm going to name after my store. And I'm going to reference that to Claude Code because Claude Code can access my local files on the computer and it can pull that up. So all I have to say is, hey, give it this prompt, and then I'm going to paste it, and then it's going to start working in real time. Watch. Immediately starts looking at the reference screenshots, understanding the current theme setup, and then while it's working, I'm going to go make a coffee because I literally have an employee working right now and I can go take a break. All right, I literally just got back 15, 20 minutes of a coffee break and it's done. Look at this. It tells you what it did. Done. The homepage fully rebuilt on unpublished copy, and then preview link, theme editor link. We're just going to go directly into theme editor. This looks exactly like we literally told it to replicate this page. We gave it a specific prompt and it acted on that, right? So the whole point of this is not to copy Medvy one for one, right? Use this as a foundation because we know that this works for Medvy, right? We want to take what works for them and then recreate it personalized for our brand. So we just keep chatting with Claude after this and make sure that it understands our brand and understands like our messaging, right? Who we are, what products we sell, etc. And make sure that it's more deeply personalized to our brand. Like this is the foundation. So this is your 6 out of 10. To make it a 10 out of 10, we need to chat with Claude Code further to personalize it further. But yeah, I use stock photos for these photos. Claude Code will go create custom AI images for you that, use hyper realistic human. So this is a great foundation. You're good to go from here. So that's great. We can copy the winning store and, get the foundation of the store and all that. But what about the products, right? Like they have so many products. How do we actually spy on them and understand which products are selling? Which ones should we compete with? That's where a tool like Winning Hunter comes in, which is a spy tool, because if you're not using something like this that has all of the data, you're basically just going to go to the meta ads library that is free, but you'd have to like sift through this and there's no like data. There's only, what day they started running the ads and all that, right? So with Winning Hunter, especially because I can connect this to Claude, I can get all the data and insight that I need in literally minutes. So as you can see here, like this connects to TikTok Shop. So all these TikTok Shop products, the revenue growth, the amount of items sold. And then if we like click on a product, like for example, this one right here, right? We can see all the TikTok reviews, all of the videos that actually drove these sales. Like we can see this video drove over 500K of revenue for this product. And then better yet, right? We have the meta ads library, right? Where essentially it has all these filters and we can find anything, right? What meta ads are, have been running for a long period of time. There's so much data here that it gives you, right? And one of my favorite features here is I can actually like explore specific stores. So like if I want to go search for Medvy here, so if I go put the URL here to explore this store, right? I can track it now. I can actually click track shop and it'll actually start tracking this in real time. This is the first time I click track this store, right? So it's got to start bringing in the data, but we can even see the monthly visits. They have 266,000 monthly visits right now, which is a really good sign, right? So typically what I would do is I would go into the ad library, or I would go into TikTok Shop and I would start like manually researching, right? Looking for the specific product, searching keywords, playing around with the filters, right? We can see all these filters here. I can choose the country like United States, English. For language, I can see like this filter right here shows me like advertisers that are essentially consistently scaling ads. So I can see rising versus stable versus declining. So like if I want to see like what brands are advertising these products are like consistently scaling, then I can filter to that. And then I can look for videos only. Look at all these filters, right? But I don't want to do all that. That's a lot of work, right? Now I have Claude. Claude connects to all these platforms and I can get it to research everything because I can connect Winning Hunter to Claude. So the way we do that is in Claude, right? If you click on the plus icon, we can see connectors here. And then essentially we would just add Winning Hunter. You would click add connector, add custom connector, and then we put the name Winning Hunter. And then you just put the remote MCP server URL. You can get that from going to your account here and connect to AI, right? So if you click connect to AI, then you essentially just want to choose the AI, which I always recommend Claude. They do too. Then we take this link and then we add that here and click add. Now I already have it connected, so watch what I'm going to do. I'm literally going to start chatting with Claude, and I'm going to ask it a specific question. Let me show you the first prompt. And the good thing is Claude Fable 5 is back, so I'm going to make sure I'm using Fable 5 because that's the strongest model there is. It's super powerful. So this is the prompt, basically saying I'm currently studying this brand. We want to compete with them. I need you to leverage the Winning Hunter MCP, and essentially what products are they advertising the most, and if they're on TikTok Shop, what kind of revenue they're doing, because with TikTok Shop you can actually get very accurate revenue data. Unfortunately with meta ads you can't really get accurate revenue data, but with TikTok Shop you can. Now when we're spying on meta ads, we're trying to see like what are they advertising the most and how long have they been advertising it for, right? So I'm basically gonna set this prompt, and then it's gonna start doing the research in real time. So I'll come back to you once it's done. Okay, so it just finished all the research. It came back to me with all this information. Mind you, like when I search Medvi on Winning Hunter, all these ads, right? All of this, Claude goes through all of it and does the research for me. I don't have to worry about it, right? So it comes back and tells me, which I already knew actually, that GLP-1 supplements are the flagship product. That's their most popular product. We can see here on their website, I mean, GLP-1 is like highlighted twice here. Just looking at their ads, like, everybody's talking about the weight loss journey, and that makes sense because like even when we look at Google Trends data, right, we can see GLP-1 has been blowing up since 2025. So it makes sense as to why Medvi is crushing right now, right, with GLP-1. And Claude actually did deep research on the brand and the product, and it gave me essentially just notes about, what it picked up on from all of the ads that it reviewed. It breaks down the funnel, which is what we know, that it goes to an eligibility quiz and then checkout. And it actually says they checked actual sources of revenue. So it verified $401 million in 2025 revenue. And then competitive vulnerabilities worth noting. Medvi received an FDA warning letter for misbranding violations. So we could actually learn from that, like the way they were misbranding their products, we can actually improve upon that. And then it also gives me some next steps here because it knows that it added the brand to our brand tracker in Winning Hunter. So now it's going to track all the new ads that come in from Medvi. So that is a really cool feature. So now you found a product that people are actually paying for, but knowing what to sell is only half of it. You also need to be able to sell it. Now, to sell this without risking your money on inventory, you're going to be sourcing from China because that's the only way to do this profitably. And what you need is a reliable private agent that has a clean track record with fair prices and fast delivery time. Trust me, as someone who's been through all the shitty suppliers in the past 10 years, nobody can match the experience I get from using Teamdrop. They've shipped over 200,000 units of products for me over the years, and I never had to even touch the product. I just focus on selling it. Now, it is drop shipping, but the average delivery time has been 7 to 12 days, which is really fast, and I really get customer complaints. The platform is super easy to use for beginners too. You just connect the platform to your Shopify store, and once you're in, this is what you'll see. You can find products easily by searching by image or looking at the top products that you see on there. Or if they don't have the exact product, all you have to do is open your dedicated WhatsApp chat with your own private agent. They will source it for you and do everything for you. They'll talk to the factory and negotiate the best price for you. And then all your orders pop up in the dashboard, just like mine here. And Teamdrop automatically sends your customers' tracking numbers through Shopify, all done for you. I have hundreds of orders here, as you can see, because unlike most other YouTubers that pitch you a supplier they don't even use, this is actually my go-to platform. So make sure to use the link in the description below to sign up for Teamdrop, because I have custom pricing with that link and they will give you special treatment because you came through me. Okay, but here's where it gets really good, because the store is only half of it. What I'm about to reveal to you is their entire strategy so you can make as many sales as they can. They never send you straight to a product page. Think about how every normal store works. You click on an ad, you land on a product, there's a buy button, and you either buy or you bounce. This brand does something completely different. When you arrive at their website, they don't try to sell you anything right away. They actually ask you questions like, what's your goal? What have you tried before? And what has been your experience with this problem? It feels like they're actually trying to help you, but every single one of those questions is actually convincing you. And there's a reason this works so well. Once someone says yes to a few small, easy things, they feel inclined to keep saying yes because people want to stay consistent with what they already did. started. So by the time you've answered 5 questions, you're not a cold stranger anymore. You're invested. You've basically talked yourself halfway into buying and they haven't pitched you a single thing yet. But it gets sneakier than that. Every answer you give makes the recommendation at the end feel built for you. So when the plan finally shows up, it doesn't feel like a product on a shelf. It feels like your plan. And that right there is identity, guys. The quiz reminds them of the problems they have and the outcomes they want. People don't just buy products, they buy better version of themselves. So the quiz makes them feel like they finally found the thing made for their exact situation. And that feeling is what brings them closer to the sale. But there's another layer stacked right on top of that. When they give you the result with a certified analysis and fancy language, and the product actually works, you trust them. Just like you'd blindly trust any other doctor. So when you have another health issue or concern, you'll look for other products they have to solve that problem. You trust them because they were right the first time. When you've been frustrated about something for a long time and finally find exactly what you've been looking for, it feels like a relief. That relief feels good and your brain ties that good feeling straight to that brand. It's like a Trojan horse. It looks like the brand's doing you a favor, but it's secretly doing 3 jobs at the same time. It qualifies the buyer. It makes them feel like it was built for them, and it captures the lead all before they see a price. And this is something you should definitely copy from them. So to do that, we go back to Claude Code and attach the screenshots of the Medvi quiz. Now just use this prompt right here, and that's it. It'll build the whole quiz funnel for you. So now you've got the store and the whole strategy to turn visitors into customers. But all of that is completely useless if you don't get any visitors. You could have the best looking store on the internet and still make $0 if no one sees your store. The quiz can't qualify anyone who have never landed on the page, and the emails can't sell anyone who never gave you their email. Traffic is what makes your whole system move. And here's the interesting part. You see, Medvi isn't getting visitors with big, polished, produced commercials. Watch this right here.
So this new ED medication is blowing up right now, Medvi Quad. First time anyone's put 4 ingredients into one to help you get hard and stay hard. A few drops under your tongue, that's it. Wait, so it's not a pill? Nope. That's why everyone's talking about it.
This is one of their ads. And here's another one.
He just put a few drops of this under his tongue, and he was ready in 10 minutes.
Honestly, Medvi Quad delivered more than I expected. Faster on-net, stronger results. And it lasted way longer than usual. It made a real difference.
That's just a woman in a room talking to her phone. There's no set or fancy lighting. It's just normal people sharing their experience. And that's exactly why it works. I keep telling you guys the same thing in every video. When a real person tells you what happened to them, you don't feel sold to. And there's another thing these ads do too. They call out a specific problem or specific outcome that their exact customer wants. So the right person hears it and thinks, wait, that's me. And that recognition is what makes them curious enough to click. So you're not just trying to make a beautiful ad, guys. You're just making a video with a real person sharing their experience. That's the formula in both of Medvi's ads. And here's the best part. You don't need to be on camera, hire a creator, or film anything. You can recreate this ad style with AI in a few minutes. Let me show you how I do it. So the tool we're going to be using is called TopView. It's one of my favorite tools to use right now for all things AI UGC, specifically for their newest feature called Canvas. So in this Canvas, we have an AI agent connected that is going to do a lot of the heavy lifting for us. And the beautiful thing is that whenever we're, first start selling a product here, we can design a product card, right? Create a product card. So that way the AI agent always remembers everything about the product, so we don't have to explain again and again, right? So as I was actually looking at the types of UGC that they're running, I actually came across this one, which is for a different product they're selling for men's sexual health. But I just want to use it as an example here because it's a good video.
Guys who come to me all say the same thing. The usual pills stopped working, and this is what finally did. Medvi Quad.
I think it's AI actually, which is kind of funny. But so essentially, we're just gonna use this as an example of essentially recreating what I'm telling you, recreating a winning ad, but changing the actual model in the video to a completely different ethnicity. And doing things like that allows you to take what's already working in the marketplace and essentially just start testing right away with what is highly probable to actually work. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just getting Claude to do it for me is give me a description of the product, a detailed description, so that way I can actually give this to AI agent here, so that way it always remembers what the product is, right? And then I don't have to do the research myself or get the description myself. I just had Claude do it. So I'm like, hey Claude, for the Quad sexual health product for men that they're selling, give me a detailed product description that I would give TopView AI for context in the product. We're going to be making AI UGC videos. So then it gave me a complete context brief. So I'm basically just going to copy this, which also, by the way, highlights key selling selling points, target customer. It gives me some good information that the AI, would actually appreciate. So we're going to click here on the canvas. You're going to see product, and we're going to click new product. And then I'm going to upload some images, but I'm also going to provide the product details here, the ones that I just got from Claude. So copied and pasted that. So now I created the product card. I have an image reference and I have the product details. And then now all we have to do is go into this chat. We don't have to worry about any crazy prompting because with Canvas, they have skills. Like think about Claude Code, Claude Cowork. We have skills that we train it on. TopView is doing the same thing, but with AI UGC. So we have all these skills right here of like interview product ad, this kind of ad, podcast style ad, right? Like we can see that this specific ad that we're recreating is a podcast style ad. So we can essentially, the AI is going to be able to recreate it perfectly because it's going to be trained on a specific skill that we give it here. So I'm just going to find that podcast style ad. Okay, so we connected that skill to the AI agent here. And then now what we're going to do is going to click clone a video. And then it's going to give me its best prompt. I don't have to worry about the prompt. Help me clone an existing video with high fidelity while keeping its visual style and storyline structure unchanged. My reference video is here. So we have to essentially paste the video link or upload it. So I'm just going to upload it since I have it on my local files. So now look, it's uploading it directly to the canvas. And if you have links, you can literally just copy and paste it on the canvas. And now the only thing I'm adding to this is for the prompt to say, but change the humans in the video to Black African American people. So that way we're actually using the strategy that I'm mentioning here. We're recreating this video, but changing the models in the video. So we want to make sure that we highlight that. And the beauty is that it already has a skill of like how to create these ads and make them hyper realistic, right? It's going to use CDANS 2, which is currently the best AI video model there is. So now we're going to click enter and then basically just have the AI agent do its thing. So now it's thinking and it's going to execute. And as you can see, it's already like taking action, deciding what to do. And it says you should see the extracted frames appear shortly. Once they're ready, let me know and I'll create the detailed replication plan for your review. So let's see. So it's literally telling me that it's going to break down everything on the canvas. So that's the nice thing about the canvas tool is like we're going to see everything right in front of us here, right? So it's all just kind of in one place. And then you have the chat here, which is an actual agent. So now what it does here is it literally gives me a whole video replication plan. So it lays out the plan before actually proceeding. So each shot by shot. So it's very, very, very detailed. And then essentially it asks me if it looks good, which I already approved. And I just say, okay. And then now it generates it. When it starts generating, it actually tells you how long it's going to take. It's only going to take about 3 minutes. So to put this into perspective, right? Like the bottleneck that most people have when selling products, doing e-commerce, drop shipping, whatever, is not testing enough ads. And the reason for that is because we used to have to work with content creators, which were expensive and took really long for them to get the product and send us footage of the product. Then we have to test it. And if it doesn't work, then we got to get more, right? Now you can create content, unlimited amount of content using AI, and it doesn't cost much either. So there's really no excuse anymore. Let's check this out. So it created the image, which then it turns into a video, right? Now it's going to break it down scene by scene. And then as long as I approve, it's going to put together the whole video for me. And then we're good. So look at that. It's already creating them. It might get the detail of the product wrong, but you could always fix that, right? That's the thing, like trying to show you how easy it is to use the Canvas tool and how quickly you can create content. All right. And just like that, it created the entire video, but it broke it down by shots, right? So it doesn't combine the video. It does it shot for shot because AI models are limited to how many seconds it can do, right? But the beauty is that TopView's Canvas AI agent goes and creates all the clips we need, and then all we have to do is combine them in CapCut. But these came out super well. What I did was I downloaded these, and then now what we're going to do is we're just going to drag and drop them, right? Whenever you name them as like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, when you drag and drop them, it'll drag and drop in the right order. So as you can see, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4.
The problem with most pills is they just don't work. Your body can't absorb them properly. That's why I love this. It's sublingual.
See, some things are not perfect, but that's why we can cut it in CapCut.
Wait.
Look at the reaction.
So it's not a pill?
So the hook, right?
You know, the problem with most pills is
The problem with most pills, it's framed as the problem is the pills, but this is the solution, right?
Your bot.
And the AI picked up on that, right? I mean, obviously it has a reference video that we told it to recreate, but we can see here.
All say the same. Usual pills stopped working, and this is what finally did. MedV Quad. First time anyone's put 4 ingredients into one to help you get hard and stay hard. A few drops.
Now, obviously, it didn't get the product perfect, right? Like it made it look like a supplement bottle, but we can easily fix that. I mean, it even gets the detail of like the motion graphics, the visuals that it shows in the video, right? Because it understands the product and it understands the reference video. Now, obviously, if I'm recreating this for my brand, I'm going to replace MedV Quad in this video, but I'm just showing you this as an example. Now, so what I would do, right? I'm going to show you essentially how I cut this up right now, and also a filter that I use, a custom filter that I created in CapCut, which I'll share with you guys, that will actually help with the realism, because we can see here that, you know, some of this, like the face and the way his face looks and everything, it can kind of be seen as AI, right? So even though the realism is very good, like I would say, like sometimes what AI doesn't get right is the skin, right? The realism on the skin. So you can actually improve that with the filters that you use on CapCut, and I'll show you guys that in a second. So right now I just fixed that weird clip and like him putting his finger on his tongue. We just use this split feature right here, and then you can just delete different clips, right? Like if I click split here and then I want to delete this clip, I can delete it. But basically we can check that out.
your body can't absorb them properly. That's why I love this. Wait, so it's not a
See, that's way smoother, that's way normal, and then it's just little cuts that I do here in CapCut, right? Now, for that filter, so I have a filter, did a lot of testing with this, but essentially figured out a filter to help with the realism. So under adjustment, essentially under yours, I have this, it's called realism filters, right? So basically, it's a combination of like brightness, contrast, and, you know, many other things, and I was able to create a preset filter. Look at the difference here. With the filter,
The problem with most pills is
and without the filter, with the filter, without the filter, right? As you can see, it kind of just like makes the video, you know, less overly polished, overly high definition, right? Which makes it look like more like UGC, makes it look ugly, right? Which is a good thing. See, like this just looks too perfect, but this doesn't, right? So we just basically drag that and drag it to the end. Like here, he looks more normal now, but like look before, right? This just looks like too good to be true. You know what I mean? And then with Canvas, guys, we don't have to create one video at a time. We can create ads at scale. So like in the canvas, right? Look when I zoom out, right? When I zoom out, you can see this canvas is like a never ending space. So I can create multiple tasks and have multiple agents working at the same time. So now you know exactly how to recreate a billion-dollar brand in less than an hour. But I'm going to be straight with you guys here. What separated MedV's creators from everyone who tried this and failed wasn't the tools. It was knowing exactly which offer to sell and how to sell. Anyways, that's it for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.